And what an important game this is for Barcelona in their quest to catch Real Madrid at the top of the table, which you see there. Real Madrid 5 points clear at the moment, but don't forget Barcelona have a game in hand. And later tonight we'll show you the highlights from Real Madrid's game, the derby match against Atletico. Logrones themselves down in 13th place, their aspirations long since gone. And here the Barcelona lineup, which does contain one surprise in the number 5 shirt, Aurora, a youngster out of the second team, making his debut. And referee Andújar Oliver. Here is the Logrones side, which includes two well-known South American internationals. Ruggeri, wearing the number 6 shirt, is from Argentina. Alzamendi in the number 9 shirt is from Uruguay. There is Antonio Alzamendi, one of the stars of the last World Cup. He's having a word with referee Oliver. So Logrones in their red and white stripes will get the game off. And interesting that Barcelona should include Aurora for a match like this one, but they also have in the side the vastly experienced Ali Sanko recalled to their defence. So their coach Johan Cruyff has plumped for experience and youth in the game. Still preferring to keep Soler on the bench, and Serna has also been relegated to the substitutes bench for this one, which is why Ali Sanko is in the number 3 shirt. And now a minute of silence. Well observed, and now the game is away. With Alzamendi playing the ball straight away, and here is Abadia. And that's a good ball, or they have to stretch just a little bit too much over on that far side. Number 10, Ankel. A really important occasion, obviously, for Logrones, who had an in and out sort of a season, really. As I told you, they're down in 13th place at the moment. They've had only 9 wins all season, but they've had an awful lot of draws, 12 in all. And their greatest problem, despite the presence of Alzamendi, there he is, has been scoring goals. They've managed a mere 23 in 32 matches. But their defence has been reasonably mean. They've conceded exactly a goal a game. 32 games conceded in 32 matches. And they have 30 points. Barcelona, on the other hand, of course, have 47 points, and they've scored 66 goals and conceded a mere 22. The best defensive record in the league, and an inferior scoring record only to Real Madrid, as Eusebio plays the ball square across his penalty area. It was not really well advised, but again that's going to skid away on the surface here. It is raining, and that's going to cause a few problems for the players in timing their passes. Sanko back for Andoni Zubizarreta. And Eusebio in the number 4 shirt in this match. Seems strange to see him in that. He's worn 2 and 3. And here he is now on the ball, wearing the number 4 shirt. Keeping it in play too. Nice little flick which came off, and that has helped them maintain the build-up. Logrones, this is Comas, number 2. And there is young Aurora. What a big occasion for him. Away by Ali Sanko to Bano, who's playing on the left side in this game. He played on the right last week. And now a good run, but they couldn't find Begiristáin. Now trying to turn away from trouble, Begiristáin, and then Aurora, bringing it back is Amor, and Amor through the middle, and Lineker immediately trying to get in the shot. And took a little bit of a deflection. And here we can see again how Lineker immediately, a sniper's instincts there, wanted to get the shot in. And the local band in good form. Now Alzamendi. And good try as well from that sort of distance. There wasn't a great deal of sting in the shot, but immediately got the ball. He wanted to have the crack at goal. Always amuses the crowd when the linesman loses half his flag. Rora once more. He looks a tough customer. Back for Abadia. Now Begiristáin. Down on the touchline once more is Rora, the young player we were talking about. Infield to Barno. Switched from the left back position. And they are moving around at the moment as Ali Sanko tries to get that ball through for Roberto. It just ran away from him at the moment he was trying to pass the ball. Again, it was the surface, I think, that caused him to misread the situation. But Barcelona still coming forward, and it's Roberto again in the possession. Feeding Rora. Certainly confident enough to take players on, but this time he loses out to Comas. Now the chance of a break on here as Jorge goes racing forward. Oh, and then they totally misread it between them. Unfortunate that. Alzamendi and Jorge had a good chance there. But their telepathic communication was not all it was meant to be. But they've won the ball back, so it's a good start from Logrones. And loping forward now is Ruggieri. Good ball too, and it nearly came back to Sarabia. Roberto. Now Eusebio. Busy as ever. Rora. Eusebio will float it towards the far side of that penalty area. Julio Salinas in space, and it was taken away by Lopez Perez. Just as it looked as though Julio Salinas there was going to control it inside the penalty area. The lovely ball played to him from Eusebio. And you can see by the way Julio Salinas' hair is being plastered down now just how heavily it is raining. But Amor will plant the ball in the old quadrangle, and Barcelona will have the game's first corner with the umbrellas up. Amor back at this near post was it was Ali Sanko who got the header in. It's away as far as Begiristáin. Not a good ball from him, but Roberto was there to latch onto it. Abadia. Martin. Good ball pulled from Martin as well. There's a real chance here, but Zubizarreta came out as Ankel was challenging. It was an excellent ball played forward, but referee Oliver has decided that there should be a free kick against Logrones. And the crowd, you could say, do not agree with the decision. As though from our director's shot, as though the linesman was involved there in an offside. Ali Sanko, the captain. Hasn't played that many games this season really. This man has, Aloisio. In fact, I can't remember him missing one. Just one maybe. Abadia. And still there, chased by Eusebio, but Abadia's having a go and concedes the throw in now. much to his disgust. Begiristáin lofting the ball over to that far side. Now Abano has popped up in the more traditional right back position for a number 2. And it was Ruggieri who got a foot in. I thought the ball was going to go for a corner. It didn't in the long run. But poor control on that occasion by Ankel. So Alisanko spreads it across the field, and Eusebio. And they are so interchangeable, all these Barcelona players. They seem to play one week in the middle of defence, and then the next they'll be out on the right touchline, and they do seem to drift around a little. Nicely clipped forward, but well met by Eusebio. But now the break is on with Elzamendi, and Eusebio has to go thundering back to try and mark his man, and the ball skids away on the surface once more, away from Ankel. But there was a danger then to Barcelona, because Eusebio had gone so far upfield that he really had to dash back at the last moment when Elzamendi got away. Begiristáin. Oh, and that's a glorious ball from Eusebio to Rora, but Rora is offside. Well, it's a shame the move should come to an end like that. There's nothing wrong with Eusebio's pass. And it's still Logrones 0, Barcelona 0. So vital for Barcelona to keep chasing Real Madrid. You never know, they might just slip one day, and today they're away to their old foes, their neighbours across the city, Atletico Madrid. And as promised earlier, we'll bring you the highlights of that game too. One of the Logrones substitutes in this match is Quique Setien, former Spanish international, of course, but can't get into the first team at the moment. And it's a Logrones free kick, which Abadia will take. Going a little bit thin on top. This rain isn't doing him any favours. Good cross though. I think it was Alisanko who got it away and found Begiristáin, and now Lineker romping forward, nicking the ball with the outside of the foot to Eusebio. Julio Salinas is behind him, and well, that was diffident to say the least. Eusebio not noted for his finishing power, more for his running power, and that wasn't a good effort. It'll be a very bare patch in front of you gets goal. And as you could see, the ball went well over halfway. Knocked forward now by Abadia, and Comas checks to see that he's onside, finds out who he is, flights the cross in, and Zubizarreta's there. Just plucked it out of the air, but Eusebio wasn't watching what he was doing, and the ball almost taken away from him by Comas. Eusebio has it for Barca, then gets it back, but forward from Martin, and it's a good ball for Jorge. Eusebio will go with him, never gives them an inch. Oh, well played though, and Jorge's cross away from Alisanko. He really made a bit of a mug out of Eusebio there, and it's not often anybody does that. And Logrones have approached this game with good application. They build again from the back, and now with Eusebio. Oh, good play. Excellent play. And Roda is onside now, having received from Begiristáin, and plants a cross over towards Julio Salinas. Might fall for Amor. Far underneath it, as you probably caught a glimpse there of referee Oliver, indicating to his arm that Amor had in fact handled. So it didn't matter that the shot rained into the crowd. And, well, more like the shoulder, really. Herrero. Hogue. Martin really losing it there. It was a bad place for him to lose the ball as well, and Begiristáin has come away. Lineker pushes it, goes into the edge of the area. Lineker surely now off the goalkeeper's foot, and the ball's in the net, but it will not count. Gary Lineker thought he'd scored. He went through in the old familiar fashion, but he was offside, and that's real disappointment for Barcelona. Lineker thought he'd given his side the lead. It was not the case. And immediately Logrones come and create a situation where Sarabia thought he was going to get in. This is Ankel trying to go on the outside of Amor. Well, it's certainly positive. And that's the closest we've come to a goal for either side, when Gary Lineker thought there that he'd given Barcelona the lead. He was very disappointed, I'm sure, to find out that he hadn't. Oh, and well taken on there, but it was just too much. It ran away from him. Comas. It's a bit of a scramble at the moment. And again, the referee's whistle has gone. So despite the fact that Barcelona felt they'd cleared their lines, instead they've got to face a free kick. And at the moment, Logrones certainly giving as good as they're getting. This seems to happen so often in matches involving Barcelona, though. And then they just get the odd goal, which counts. It's finishing power. That's what the game is all about. Is there any here for Logrones? No. Referee Oliver blowing his whistle, and the crowd, who are getting very, very damp behind that goal, not too happy. Either with the conditions or with the fact that their side has been unable to forge into the lead. The old problem of not being able to score goals. Alisank. Flick header forward from Roberto, and an appeal for a free kick. Lineker, I think, was being shoved by Herrero off the ball there, and the referee saw that. And there doesn't appear to be too many protests about the decision, so one assumes it was a good one. And just look at the rain teeming down as you get tries to sort out those in front of him, so he's got a clear sight. Amor is there, Alisanko is there, Roberto and Begiristáin aren't far away, and there's going to be a yellow card, I think, here for Amor. And he stands, hands on hips, and say, what was I doing wrong? He was complaining that the wall was not far away, and the referee told him in no uncertain terms that he's the man in charge, to leave it to him. So Amor, the first caution of the game. Begiristáin knocking it to Roberto, but it wasn't a very well manoeuvred free kick. Urbano now. Eusebio. Oh, a rather unfortunate slip there by Comas. Across the goal, and once again it's Ruggeri who hacks it away. Oh, and Aloisio, strong challenge. I thought there was what's wrong with that. He perhaps dived in a little bit, but the ball had gone away from the player. Quite wretched watching conditions. Guerrero is the player with the bandage on his left wrist. He's played a good ball too. Down here to Alzamendi, who can't find a way past his old Brazilian adversary. So we're halfway through the first half, and we haven't had a goal as yet. 0-0. Begiristáin trying to promise one now. Just too many men around him. That time it was Ankel getting back to help out. Ruggieri. Very natty jerseys the goalkeepers wear nowadays, don't they? Far cry from the old green one. Sanko for Barcelona drills the ball forward, and it's gone all the way through to Rora, who does well there and gets a cross in as well towards the far post, and Julio Salinas well headed out by Martin. A clever little dummy from Eusebio. Sure he learnt that on the Copacabana beach. Again, it's one back by Martin for Logrones. And Barcelona could be in trouble here. Oh, it's just done enough to keep it away from Abadia. Surely a push by Martin on Aurora. Referee Oliver sees it that way too. Now Eusebio. Roberto. They really aren't stringing it together at all at the moment. A crowd of around 15,000. Probably kept down by the weather conditions. Oh, and a mistake there, and it was knocked down. Alzamendi was challenged by Eusebio. The ball fell kindly, but Ankel couldn't make it count, and that's probably the best opening that Logrones will get in this half. It was a clear shooting chance that for Ankel, and he really should have done better. I think he was a little bit surprised to find himself in that position. Now Sanko. Urbano. Making a forward run was Julio Salinas, but the ball just didn't come to him. This is Arabia, who's wriggled his way around two men and played a good pass out there as well. To Ankel. Ankel through for Martin. There are too many around Martin, but the referee says that they were a little over exuberant and has awarded the free kick to the home team. Again, Avaria. Oh, a fine interception by Urbano, and he might keep going too. Aurora still up there, but Lineker goes down. The hobbling Gary Lineker. That's a bit messy again. Eusebio and Alzamendi tangling almost like two tag wrestlers. Ruggieri. Well, that was well worth a crack. And that's the best we've seen in the game so far, certainly from Logrones. But Zubizarreta by and large, has been extremely quiet in the Barcelona goal. And he seemed very leisurely about that, didn't he, really? Forward by Alisanko, and now Lineker again. He'll try and use his pace to find a way past Herrero. He's too strong for him. Lineker finding it very hard to score goals in Spanish football at the moment. To say that a couple of years ago he was almost a fixture on the score sheet every week. Urbano. Still Urbano. Still looking for a way through. Gets a throw in. That's all. And eventually the throw was really to nobody. And some disappointing play at the moment. We've had one good effort for Logrones. We've had Lineker thinking he'd scored for Barcelona. That apart, the game generally being played in the midfield. That was a nice ball and driven across the face of goal, and still the chance is here. Comas hit that one way across the goal. Ankel was the player coming in and couldn't really get any strength behind his shot. Otherwise, Barcelona and Zubizarreta might have been in trouble. For once, this is Marti. Lofts a long and high ball over there. And they've worked that nicely, but just the outstretched leg of Amor, cutting it back. Now Begiristáin. It's Amor once more on far more attack now, and Lineker. I thought he was going to put the ball in the net a second time, to no avail, but free kick given. Well, it's been said so many times around the world at so many football matches, but the game really does need a goal. For the moment, Logrones are in possession. That might have looked quite pretty, but it was fairly ineffective. Took the team backwards. This throw taken by Urbano, and he obviously hadn't seen Eusebio running back, and Eusebio somewhat over-ambitious, I would say, with that. And the Uruguayan not finding life all that easy in Spain. It was perhaps surprising he didn't join one of the bigger clubs after the success he was in 1986 in Mexico. Oh, that was really badly given away by Urbano, and Eusebio challenging for it, and Zubizarreta coming away from his line just there, but there's a chance here again. He was surely obstructed just outside his own penalty area. Sarabia trying to go for it. Roberto was the player who prevented him, and a really awkward moment for Zubizarreta now. This free kick just outside his own penalty area. 5 yards outside, but an eminently scoreable from position. So, what can Logrones do with this? There wasn't a great amount of imagination there. Julio Salinas plays the ball out. Doesn't hardly seem to have been involved in the game at all. Logrones 0, Barcelona 0. As Barcelona tried to just pull a couple of points back on Real Madrid at the head of the table. They're desperate for Real Madrid to lose somewhere along the line and to win a game themselves. That would change the entire complexion of the Spanish First Division. But for the moment, we look at Eusebio for Barcelona. And the ball inside the fullback is surely not going to be reached by Aurora. Comas putting it out. Once again, a splendid kick forward, but Eusebio underneath it, and good play here for Logrones. It's an excellent play again by Sarabia. 0-0 it is. And the referee Oliver again has had a loud blast on the whistle. But now Eusebio. Aurora trying to go for the return, will do well to get there, and he does do well. He's really battled hard down this left touch line. Begiristáin moving away from Martin. Roberto bringing Eusebio into it again. But, oh dear, that's not a good pass at all from Eusebio. And as we said at the outset, it is difficult with this rain just to judge the pace and the distance of the pass. And you get, just like Zubizueta, has been very underworked. It's Logrones' throw. And they're looking for a free kick here. And Eusebio pleading innocence. I think referee Oliver, he's going to book Eusebio. He's booking Eusebio for a bit of play acting, I think. Free kick had been given, that's interesting. Free kick had been given to Logrones, so Eusebio had got what he wanted, but the referee took his name, all the same. So the second one to go into referee Oliver's notebook, Amor having been the first. And certain things seem to annoy this official. Oh, Zubizueta flapped and made a horrible attempt to catch that ball. The referee said that he'd been impeded by Ruggieri. Begiristáin. Well, it's not been a pretty half, but there might be something on now. Eusebio smacks in the best effort of the game so far, without question. He's always willing to have a crack, and that was a good shot, and it scraped over Zubizueta's crossbar. It was maybe ambitious, bearing in mind the keeper was in his line of sight. Now Lineker, the ball just eluding him inside the penalty area. Disappointment again for the Englishman. But it's so tough up front when the goals just aren't coming. As Gary Lineker is finding at the moment. Alo Sanko there, losing out. And the break is on once more. This time, the door slams firmly in the face of Ankel. And it really is beginning to look as though the first half might be scoreless. But we'll wait for a moment. Good save. You got down very quickly then when Roberto let fly. Roberto does crack in a good shot, and he saw the target, and you get not really troubled. Amor really tussling for it, but too many red and white striped shirts in proximity. Lopez Perez. Coming deep now, Sarabia. But again, it's all to no avail, and the scoreline of Logrones 0, Barcelona 0 must be the most popular for a half-time. There's not really been many attempts on goal. Eusebio will try and find a way through now. Eventually plays a good ball to Begiristáin. Oh, and that's good interplay. Really good passing. That was a lovely move, but at the end of it, Aurora was offside. As he's been on a couple of occasions, but there was a lot to be admired in the fluency of the move. Martin. Alzamendi. Not going to reach the mark. Oh, and what a mistake here! And Zubizarreta has to make up for it once, and the second time it's kicked off the line, and Barcelona are in real trouble there. So, disappointment for Sarabia. He latched on to the mistake, and it looked for all the world as though he was going to get the first goal. Zubizarreta spread himself to save his side. When the ball came back for Angel, it was kicked away off the line. So Zubizarreta and his co-defenders just about getting away with it, and here immediately come Barcelona. It really would be ironic if they scored now. And the danger not yet averted. Ruggieri heads it on. And that was a bit of a dodgy overhead kick. Now Amor and Eusebio. Eusebio was there, Begiristáin here, and Aurora now on the wing. They really do play the ball around very neatly, but they're not making a great deal of progress. Lineker. Getting the chases for Alzamendi, and Eusebio bowls him over. And can we have a free kick or a penalty, shout the crowd? No, you can't, says the referee. Or does he? Yes, in fact he does give it, and he gives it right on the edge of the area. Eusebio holds his head. Alzamendi doesn't seem to mind too much. Well, it took an eternity for referee Oliver to give that free kick. When he did, it's no more than a yard outside Barcelona's penalty area, so who knows, Logrones might yet get something in this half. Well, as you can see, there are 3 red and white shirts in your shot, and there were 4 Barcelona shirts in front of them and not much else. Still maybe they know what they're going to do. Well, Angel driving it in wide of the upright. Another chance gone. I think he was trying to catch Zubizarreta out on his near post. And it really is a miserable life for a goalkeeper on a day like this. Rain still continuing to pour down, as you can see. This time it's Barcelona's turn to have the free kick, with Roberto placing it. And over she comes, but away she goes again. A little toe poke through by Aurora. Not the sort of trouble you get. Nicely stepped over the ball, and Comas is here. And Comas coming inside, Begiristáin, who brings him down from behind. Barcelona are giving away a lot of free kicks at the moment, and he's really complaining about that one. I think he perhaps made it look a little bit dramatic. Nonetheless, it was worthy of a free kick. Logrones generally have carried the game to Barcelona, although they've been unable to create any really clear-cut openings, apart from the one which was a defensive lapse when Zubizarreta had to save his side. So the free kick will be taken by Abadia. Chipped in. Zubizarreta was in a bit of no man's land. I think he was in doubt really whether to come out or not. But approaching half-time, Logrones have a corner kick. Now then, could there be a dramatic finale to the half? Those supporters huddled behind the goal under their umbrella will be hoping so. And Zubizarreta stretches, takes it cleanly. Referee raises his arm, points to the dressing room. And the end of, well, not the greatest 45 minutes we've seen on top team Spanish soccer this season. It's ended all square at Logrones 0, Barcelona 0. But some good football to come. Join us for that in the second half after the break. Again from Logrones, the team's out for the start of the second half, the resumption of this important game in the Spanish First Division. Barcelona, of course, will feel as though they just about have to win every game. Serna has come on for Julio Salinas, who, to be honest and brutally frank, had virtually not featured in the game at all. So Serna on, Julio Salinas off. To be fair to him, he'd had so little service. And now the sun coming out a little bit, so the conditions improving as Martin plays the ball forward, midway inside Barcelona territory. I thought he was looking for a free kick there, was Abadia. Bit more promising, but it went all the way through, and Eusebio just doing enough to get it back to Zubizarreta. There is Serna. Seems strange to see him wearing a number 12 shirt. He's been so consistent in defence for Barcelona this season. Sanko starts to dribble the ball forward before releasing the pass. He found Begiristáin. Eusebio asks the young man Aurora to do some running, and Aurora takes it all the way up to the dead ball line before cutting it back. And the ball had gone dead. Comas for Logrones. Now Martin. Sarabia gives it back for Martin. Well, they're putting the passes together nicely at the moment. Until Serna got in the way of that one, then Lineker. Well, I think Eusebio was attempting to give it back to Lineker. Might try and find him with a throw in now. No, it's gone back instead to Serna. Although he's got such a lovely touch, the Brazilian. Sanko. Good ball forward, and now Roberto, and they are making inroads this time. Lineker. Whistle's gone again. What, me, says Lineker? Surely not. Well, Lineker now smiles and sees the funny side of it. But, well, in fact, the referee has given a bounce up. What a very odd decision. Very odd decision indeed. I think the referee is almost admitting that he made a mistake and therefore has given the bounce up. Perhaps he blew his whistle by mistake, by habit. Nonetheless, Jorge brings it away. Ankel now. Little shove in the back on Lopez Perez. And, free kick it is. There's Lineker, who still can't quite believe what happened a couple of moments ago. He's smiling ruefully about it. And Jorge slides it to Martin. Now Ruggeri. Oh, not a good pass. He never even thought about that, never looked. As a result of which, it went straight to Ali Sanko, who glides almost past Martin. Such a strong man, Ali Sanko, when he's running like that. Urbano. Carried by Sabadia. Now Abadia. And still the goalkeepers have been so inactive. Zubizarreta will welcome the back pass. Aloisio's ball intercepted, and now this is a bit more promising as Alzamendi turns away from Ali Sanko. Goes on a run towards the edge of the area. And it was played by Serna off the legs of an opponent there. Too long this time, even for the young legs belonging to Aurora. It was tried gamely. Abadia. Martin. And again it's Martin. Abadia, that's good play. And Alzamendi is onside here as Barcelona desperately trying to get men back. Alzamendi, good skill, and well played too by Aloisio. That was a good tackle. The crowd are roaring, but it was a good tackle. It was Aloisio's speed which got him back there to take the ball away as Alzamendi was literally pulling the trigger for the shot. Now Lineker. Clever play by him. Roberto, and now Eusebio, and Eusebio's cross is a difficult one. And there was nothing much else really that Comas could do. He had to put that ball out of play. Another wry smile from Lineker. And the rain continues to drip down the forehead of Abadia. And it's Barcelona's corner. They still aren't proving as influential in the game as they would like, and that was a very wayward corner indeed. And Huguet continues to be untroubled. What can they make Zubizarreta do at this end? Here is Sarabia. Soler is there. And Soler fires the pass out. Too long. And he seems to be chasing shadows, does Rohrer, at the moment. The ball's just skating away in front of him. Hogge. Good pass, Ankel, and Ankel's cross is a vital one. And again it was Aloisio sliding in there with Alzamendi. The two have never been far apart. And it would appear that Alzamendi did actually manage to get the touch. Went behind. And Huguet continues to try and keep himself warm. They certainly need a good toweling down after the game. Comas, slide rule pass, and a cross goal from Abadia. Good try. Abadia found the angle just too acute, and the ball was perfect from Comas to really cut out the entire defence, and Abadia is as close as anyone has been to the first goal. Aloisio. Good play back there from Ankel, intercepting when he was needed most. Martin managed to keep the ball away from Begiristáin. This time Ruggeri takes it on from Herrero. Once more, the pass was way off the mark. Didn't go where it was intended at all. Eusebio. Not seen as much of him in the second half, nor Roberto, who had it there. Eusebio we have seen. And Logrones continue to enjoy perhaps the greater possession. It's a question of what they do with it. And on that occasion, the referee helped out for Barcelona. I don't think they really need too much help. Urbano should keep this in. Eusebio. Now then, can he go through the lot of them? No, is the answer to that, but Begiristáin has it for Barcelona. Eusebio, Serna, a good cross here could have them in trouble. Well away, but Eusebio once more picks it up, gives it back for Serna to have another go. And they're playing little triangles at the moment. It's going to be a bit too tight this time, and that ball's gone down. Well, Serna has been one of the greater triers in recent weeks when Barcelona have found their rhythm eluding them. His commitment has never been in question. Angel. Good play. He just had him breathing down his neck then. Sarabia. So Eusebio for Barcelona. Oops, a little slip, but there was no one near to profit. Begiristáin, we've hardly seen him out on the touchline in this match, which again is an unusual feature. Well, that's why. He gave the ball away. And Comas leads the charge and again plays the ball forward, hoping to find Alzamendi. Zubizarreta saw the danger. But it's still Logrones 0, Barcelona 0. And Barcelona have to win their matches. Draws will not be regarded as good enough for them. Jorge. Eusebio saw that easily. Ooh, and almost given back to Jorge. Roberto forward to Eusebio. Oh, it's a lovely ball through. Was there a push? It looked to be an almighty push on Herrero from Aurora, and the referee says that the push was the other way. Well, that's an interesting one. There was Eusebio's pass. Aurora there. Well, he was caught by the ankle, certainly. I thought that he'd already been pushing, but referee Oliver says that is a free kick against Logrones. And this is the view that the goalkeeper has, or that we have from just behind his net. And Roberto and Begiristáin are both here. Both wanting to feature perhaps, but in the end it was neither of them. Serna slings it back across goal. Oh, dearie me. That wasn't too impressive, but you've got to say that Huguet has had so little to do, and conditions have been alien to what he would like, that it wasn't surprising maybe. We should flap a little. Barcelona's throw. Aurora. Herrero has got it away. Well, they're very calm in defence, Barcelona, and this time it was Alisanko. What's more, he's found Lineker, and Lineker trying to go on the outside, does really well. Lineker chips it back across the goal. Safe enough catch that time by Huguet. Lineker seems rather surprised that he's allowed to carry on. Good interception by Ruggieri. Now what can the Argentine do? He's waiting for support and he's cantering forward himself. Maybe in the hope of getting the ball back from Abadia. And then runs on himself, gets a little flick header. And the danger not yet averted until Zubizarreta flings himself down onto the ball. So we've had a couple of chances in the last few moments to enliven the proceedings a little. Still no goals. That's what counts in this match. Abadia. Oh, it wasn't a good ball and it wasn't a good header out either. But once more Barcelona quite calmly get themselves out of that position. And Lineker gives the ball to Roberto. He's got support outside from Urbano. Lineker once more. Oh, a lovely little touch from Lineker, and I think it's going to go in. It's in from Begiristáin. And Barcelona have got their goal. It's Begiristáin who gets the credit. A lovely little touch from Lineker, which opened up the way. That's why he's smiling. And Begiristáin scores the goal that gives Barcelona the lead they so badly needed. Urbano started it out on the left, cutting the ball back. Lineker with that delightful little touch opened the way, and Begiristáin's shot actually came off the legs of Huguet. They couldn't keep it out. So we have a goal at last, and it's gone to Barcelona. And Martin will come now and try and lead the raid for Logrones. Ankel. And he's now mud splattered as well as having been rained on all afternoon, and his team are behind. It's not a big deficit, but once Barcelona get their noses in front, they take some stopping. Alzamendi tries to open the way, tries to run on inside the area as well. Squeezed away by Cerna. The ball has gone out of play. Looks like a corner. Feels for a handball. Find no sympathy from referee Oliver. Once more it was given away by Eusebio then. They're shouting for everything now as Abadia tries to trick them inside the area. It didn't come off. Comas now, they're throwing so many men forward, Logrones, they really could get hit on the break. And they're onside, and Abadia has got a glorious chance of setting something up, and he couldn't get it over the outstretched arms of Zubizarreta. And Barcelona need a breather. They've been under the cosh for the last couple of minutes. Looks as though Johan Cruyff might well be thinking of changing his formation. That's Soler, who plays down the left-hand side. And perhaps the coach will feel that now is the time to bring him on. One imagines instead of the youthful Rohrer. And they seem to be having a bit of a problem with their numbers anyway. 9, 11. Can we have a new ball, please? And in fact it's going to be a double substitution by Logrones. We were all looking at Barcelona there. So Alzamendi and Jorge have gone off. And here come Adolfo and Quique Setién. So a double throw of the dice by Logrones. Whether it will have the desired effect remains to be seen, but certainly a worthwhile tactic. And I still feel that Barcelona will bring Soler on. They already have Serna on in place of Julio Salinas in the second half. And straight away a good piece of skill inside the area and a cracking drive to it, rasped across the face of goal from Angel. And he deserved reward for that. First of all, good control. Then he made it away from the defender, and his angled drive almost whizzed in at the far post. And indeed, we were right in our suspicions that Soler is going to replace Aurora, who has no right to be disappointed about his first appearance. He's done a fair job, but now the experience of Soler will be brought to bear. We saw Soler in exactly this situation a couple of weeks ago, and Barcelona's game improved so much after he'd come on. It was astonishing. He really did give them much greater options. And Barcelona have a one-goal advantage. That goal scored after 61 minutes by Begiristáin. Is Ruggieri. Well, it's not a bad manoeuvre really. They've got to shoot on sight. That time Zubizarreta was equal to it. This is Herrero. Martin. Out on the right touchline is Abadia. Who's here again. He's worked very hard, as has Martin, who gives him it back. Well, they're managing to put the passes together without making somehow a great deal of progress. And then they give away a free kick as well. So that's adding insult to injury. Andoni Zubizarreta, Spain's goalkeeper and Barcelona's captain, sometimes clearing the ball downfield. He's had the captaincy taken away from him in this game by Ali Sanko, of course, club captain. And there'll be a free kick here against Urbano. Already taken. Sarabia. Just does enough to keep the move going with Ruggieri. Ankel wants to go on the outside of Serna and does really well as well to get that crossover. And Begiristáin, the goal scorer, brings Barcelona away and plays a nice intelligent ball forward for Eusebio. He's got an option out on his left. Instead he chose to come right to Lineker. Takes it well on the chest. Takes on Ruggieri as well, and that will be a corner kick. So Lineker, who set up Barcelona's goal, has now created a corner. It'll be taken by Eusebio, but only short to Begiristáin. Wasn't much advancement in that. Eusebio. Well, he's always highly involved. Sacristan Eusebio, that's the man. Herrero across the line. Still they find it so hard to find any way through Barcelona's defensive powers. That's better. A much better build-up this time by Logrones, but is the cross going to be any good? Not really. Much too long. Just look at the rain. It's hardly ever abated during the first 70 minutes of this game. 20 to go. Barcelona leading 1-0 on their throw. Lineker hoping to go on the blind side of Lopez Perez. And he'll be hoping to go home soon, I would imagine. So Logrones on their own ground and searching their 10th victory of the season, not having much success at the moment. Though of course they are still really in the hunt so long as they're only a goal behind. As Herrero floats a crossover. And it still might open up here. Oh dearie me. That was Sarabia. And somehow he never even managed to turn from on the angle he was on, and the ball flew hopelessly wide. And that was about 3 widths of goals wide. We keep seeing the unhappy you get. Well, I suppose Barcelona would be highly contented with a 1-0 win, 2 points, and then find out how Real Madrid have done. At least they'll have done their job. Martin trying to get away from Eusebio, and he's done it through that pass to him, and there are chances here as Abadia puts it behind the net. And one or two of the players in the middle are saying you should have cut that ball back. And Abadia, I think, acknowledges that, but from this sort of angle, a shot was always on. He didn't take the right option. He was just trying a little bit too much on his own there. And so Eusebio for Barcelona hits it too long, surely. Lineker certainly couldn't have got on that one. Again, the rather weak sun threatens to come out. Sarabia tries to work it through for Abadia. But there's always been something lacking at the final moment for Logrones. They've tried hard enough, they've worked very hard. They've generally had quite a grip in midfield, but there's been nothing at the end of it. As the ball is played to Martin, and Martin once again inside that penalty area looking for Quique Setien. Well, Martin and Ruggeri have had a lot of the ball in this second half, and they've had a few shooting chances too. That time it was Ruggeri who couldn't keep it down. And the puddles are forming. And that's in front of the net. So if the ball was still landing one of those and squirt up into the eyes of Zubizarreta, he could be in trouble. Interesting that Roberto is taking the goal kicks. Well, everything seemed to stop then just for the moment. Again, it's Martin. bit too tight there. That's a good ball played through though for Ankel, and Ankel's cross, excellent! Oh, and a super save from Zubizarreta. The header was firm and positive. It was dipping under the crossbar as well. There's a lovely ball played through, first of all to Ankel. His cross was measured, and then as the header came in, Zubizarreta just tipped it over the top, and that did enough to preserve Barcelona's lead. And now Begiristáin comes away and tries to add to it. Soler is on his outside, forward. He couldn't find Lineker, who's levelling much more in his old, more traditional sort of centre-forward role. Rather plays there than out on the wing. And good back heel again, and Ankel wanting to get the cross over, and he's crossed the ball well on occasions today. And the chance is still there, but they couldn't find Adolfo. So Ruggieri and Comas and Abadia, all menacing a great deal, and Abadia has done well, and the ball cut back, and this time it's worked away again by Eusebio. Barcelona living on their wits' ends a bit at the moment. Somehow you just never get the feeling that Logrones have quite got enough in their armoury to produce a goal. That's their problem, as it has been all season. Well, there are no doubts on that score about Barcelona. They've scored so many goals. They've just got the one so far, but it's sufficient to have them in the lead. Begiristáin was the scorer on 61 minutes. What about that for a shot? You would want to be undercover, wouldn't you? And it really shows that just what conditions are like out there. You can't gauge it as much on this picture, but it is raining heavily, obviously. And I wonder if there'll be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for Barcelona as they lead by a goal. And they will be very attentive then to discover how the Madrid derby has gone. Hoping Atletico can do them a favour. Lineker. Lineker drifting past a couple of men. There's not been much clear cut about this match as yet, but Ankel is here for Logrones. And the foul by Serna brings him to his knees. And the ball rather stupidly kicked away by Zubizarreta. The referee was calling for it so we could get on with the game, and he kicked it over the top of everybody. The referee saw no reason to take any action against him. And still we've got this watery sunshine with the rain. Yes, Ankel and Abadia are there along with Martin, and it's Ankel's cross again, and he does cross a good ball. Martin again wants to get a shot in and does so, but there's no power behind it, and it floated harmlessly to Zubizarreta, who's had certainly one of his quieter afternoons, although that was an excellent save he made just a few moments ago. That was an awful kick he's just put out. Dreadful kick. But again, he'll be happy enough to take the back pass from Ali Sanko. He looks a bit exasperated himself. He'll be looking for a better clearance this time. And we haven't long to go in the game. And it's Logrones 0, Barcelona 1. That's all that counts really, as Begiristáin, the scorer of the goal, tries to work his way past Comas one way or another. Strange looking throw. Now the chance of a break maybe. So is there anything left for Logrones? Ankel over halfway. Martin goes forward, having taken the ball from Ruggeri. Sarabia allowing it to run away from him. There's just been insufficient cohesion really about both sides' play. But Logrones will still feel they can get at least a point out of the game, especially as they keep getting free kicks in these sort of situations. Abadia, well, the man to take it this time. Again, there's no real imagination about any of those. They're queuing up now. Abadia again with the cross, and here is a chance. Knocked away once more, not very far. Martin now drives it in. Off the mark. But at least they've had one or two shooting opportunities in the last few minutes, which is more than could be said of them in the first half. And again Roberto helps out on goal-kicking duties. A bit of time wasting there, and the ball put out as well. No doubt Johan Cruyff will have worked on the tactics with them during the week. The hard-working Martin comes inside Barcelona's half again, instigating another raid. Alongside him, Ruggeri. Abadia. Ooh, and Abadia playing the pass straight at Soler. I think he wanted it back from Begiristáin. Good ball inside for Sarabia. Few players running off the ball and trying to create space for Sarabia, and it was unfortunate for him there. The ball did come back to him eventually, but he was unable to get any real strength or purpose behind his shot. Well, it just hasn't run really for Logrones. Time quickly running out for them. So it'll be a disappointment for the local people if their side gets beaten again, and Begiristáin and Lineker goes through the middle. Now then, can Lineker make it two? He's looking for support. Coming up here in the shape of Eusebio. Splendid goal. Eusebio makes it two. Lineker again involved. He teed it up. Eusebio finished it off, and he's finished off Logrones in the process. So with just 3 minutes to go, that wraps it up neatly for Barcelona. It's certainly not been a vintage performance by them, but when Lineker got away here, there were too few Logrones players back. They were really stretched. Just look at the spray. Lineker rolled it invitingly, and Eusebio said thanks very much. 2-0. Well, he's delighted. He doesn't score many goals, so it's always pleasant to get one. Especially at a time like this in the match when it seals the points, and the destiny of those points is Barcelona. Barring some miracle, here is Ruggeri to try and create one. Well, they've certainly had to do a lot of defending, Barcelona, especially in the second half. But you've never had the feeling that Logrones were going to get a break somehow. Talking of breaks, there's one on now for Barcelona. Senna to Lineker, maker of both goals. Forward from Lopez Perez to Martin. Now Adolfo. Well, he did well there. Roberto was back. Roberto's taken on very much of a defensive role in recent weeks. Having been previously influential in midfield, he's playing much further back nowadays. And only too happy to take that one on the chest and bring it away for the side that leads by 2 goals. Funny should say that about Roberto. He now has come forward in attack and he's found Begiristáin out there. Could there be a third on here? And Begiristáin is past 1, tries to go past 2, and somehow the ball hit Huguet, came back to him from the defender, and Logrones survive. But they've only got a matter of minutes to survive in the game. And Eusebio, the man on the ball, has got the second Barcelona goal, Begiristáin having scored the first. And a professional performance, I suppose you would say, from Barcelona. Not an inspiring one, as Roberto goes forward, knowing he's got Lineker on his right. And he's got Soler here on his left. And Soler takes the ricochet on, tries to carve his way past Herrero as well. And Soler looks to have conceded a free kick there. Square passes for Sarabia, and it's Alisanka who prevents the ball from going through. Nicked forward nicely. Lopez Perez. And they really are just playing out the final seconds of the game now. Story has been written. Barcelona picked up their 2 points that they wanted here. And referee Oliver seems quite a happy chap. Even if Martin there won't be. And in fact the referee says we've had enough. Points to the dressing rooms. And Barcelona win the game by 2-0. Their scorers were Begiristáin on 61 minutes. Eusebio 3 minutes from time, and we have that final scoreline, an important one, of Logrones 0, Barcelona 2.